Hello students, welcome to Meso Study again. In the today's session, we will be talking about some questions from the chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So let's discuss the questions. Some questions from 1 mark, some questions from 2 marks and some 3 and some 5 marks question we will be discussing in today's session. So let's start the today's session with the 1 mark question. So 3 questions are there which is of 1 mark. Let's focus on the first one. Give an example of a polygenic trait in humans. Polygenic trait. Simultaneously, I will be discussing about the different words also. So, polygenic traits are those traits which are not influenced by a single gene, rather than there are multiple genes are there which affect this. For example, is skin color. Skin color. Skin color, in case of the human being, they are controlled by many genes. That's why the polygenic inheritance it is. To talk about the same in detail, when we see so many individuals are there around you, some are very, you can say, they are fair in complexion, some are very dark in complexion, and we cannot say we have a intermediate colors. There are so many intermediate colors present. Some are more close towards the darker one, some are more close to the lighter one. So there is not only a true gene which control it, many genes are involved in it, due to which some intermediate effect comes. So we have a very good example, that is a skin color in case of humans. Let's move towards the next question. So mention any 2 contrasting traits with respect to seeds in a pea plant that was studied by Mendel. Mendel is considered as a father of genetics. So he studied around 7 different characters and we have to explain only 2. So you can write seed color and seed shape. You can take any other name also. We have studied around 7. So the seed color can be a yellow or green, whereas the seed shape can be round, and the second, this can be wrinkled. Hope you are getting what I am trying to say, students. Now, can I ask you one question from this? To talk about a yellow color of a seed and a green color of a seed, which one is a dominant? Obviously, the yellow color is a dominant character, and this is a recessive character. Green and the wrinkles, these are also a recessive character as per the seeds are considered first in the color and second in the shape. So this was the question number 2. Let's move towards the question number 3. Give an example of a sex-linked recessive disorder. So, third question indicates a sex-linked recessive disorder. A sex-linked recessive disorder can be a hemophilia. So the correct answer is a hemophilia. It is related to X-linked and it is a recessive disorder that you should keep in your mind, right? So this was a question number 3, 1 marks. We have completed all the 1 marks question, but you don't have to stop here. You have to practice much more. Now let's move towards the next. This is a 2 marks question. Next category. Why did T.H. Morgan select Drosophila melanogaster to study sex-linked genes with his lab experiment? Now, Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila melanogaster. What is a common name of Drosophila melanogaster? This is called as a fruit fly. Fruit fly. And normally he took only this fruit fly as a model organism. The reason is that it is having a very short life cycle. Very short life cycle. It is easy to study. To talk about a human being, we cannot take a human being as a model organism because the lifespan is very big. We cannot wait for the whole lifespan and the whole life cycle. Whereas in the short fruit fly, they are having a short life cycle. Another thing is that they are having only 4 chromosomes present. Very less number of chromosomes are present, easy to study. Also, they produce large number of offspring. Right? So that is why he took only a fruit fly which is called as a Drosophila melanogaster in the studies. So let's move towards the next question. Read this question. By the time, let me prepare this board for you. In F2 progeny of a monohybrid cross showed the phenotypic and the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. Unlike that of the Mendel's monohybrid F2 ratio, with the help of a suitable example, work out across and explain how it is possible. Now here they are saying the two ratios which are obtained, one is a genotypic ratio and the phenotypic ratio. To talk about a genotypic ratio for a monohybrid cross is always 1:2:1, whereas the phenotypic ratio is a 3:1. In this case, the genotypic and the phenotypic, both the ratio, they are same. That means they are talking about one experiment which is called as an incomplete dominance. In this, we have an example of snapdragon. In case of snapdragon, there are two flowers obtained. One is a red flower and second is a white flower. Right. So red flower is denoted by capital R, whereas a white flower is denoted by a small r. When a cross is made between these two, let's talk about the progenies which are formed by these, the gametes that will be formed by these, small r and the capital R and the small r. In case of F1, if a selfing will be done, in case of F1, that heterozygote which will be produced, that instead of having a white or the red color, they are having a flowers of a pink color flowers, right? When the selfing, come to this side, when the selfing of the same was done, again the gametes will be formed. Two type of gametes will be formed from each of these, right? Let's make a Punnett square for these. Right. What will be the phenotype of this? This will be of a red color. This will be of a white color. Whereas in this case, the color, instead of coming out to be a red, incomplete dominance was seen. That's why the color came out to be a pink. In this case also, the color came out to be a pink. This we have studied in detail in the sessions. So, hope you remember that red is to pink is to white. The ratio that comes out is 1:2:1. That is a phenotypic ratio. To talk about the genotypic ratio will also be 1:2:1. Right? So this is a correct answer. This is how you have to do. You have to write a separate example. What is the example of it? What is the name of this phenomena? That is an incomplete dominance. Also, you have to make the whole cross. This is a Punnett square, etc. You have to mention that this is a parent 1, this is a parent 2, like this. Now, come to this side again. So we have discussed about the question number 5, which is related to incomplete dominance. Now let's move forward towards our next question. Why is hemophilia, what is the possibility of a human female suffering from a hemophilia is rare? Explain. Now, hemophilia is what? is a sex-linked, or it is actually a X-linked, if I say X-linked recessive disorder. Right? To talk about two character, one male, another, one female, other male. In case of female, the chromosome which is present, that is a XX, whereas in case of the male, the chromosome which is present, that is a one is a X and other is a Y. Because it is a recessive disorder, if we talk about a female, if they are having one of the chromosome, if they have this particular gene which is responsible for a hemophilia, that female will be considered as a carrier. Right? Whereas this lady will be suffering from the hemophilia. She will only be a carrier. Question says, what is the possibility of a human female suffering from a hemophilia is rare? Yes, it is very rare because a female are mostly carrier. When a female is in homozygous condition, when a female is in this condition, if suppose such type of baby is formed, then the chances of survival is very less. They will not be able to reach to a reproductive phase. Only a carrier female that will not show any kind of disease because it is a recessive disorder, that only will be able to survive, rest all will not be able to survive. So, always a female can be a carrier, they will not show any disease. Whereas to talk about a male, male is only having a one chromosome. So, if a male is a hemophilia, then the male will be like this, right? So, it is a X-linked recessive disorder. So, hope this question is clear to you, hope the solution is clear to you. This is how you have to attempt. First of all, write about the hemophilia, what is hemophilia, explain about it, and also write about the male and the female, try to make a cross out of it, how the cross can be made. What is the chances that the female can be a carrier, what is the chances that the female can be a homozygous condition. Here in the heterozygous, because it is a recessive disorder, they will not show this kind of disease, right. So, this was a question number 6. So, students note down this. So, students, hope you have noted down about this. Now, let us move towards the next question. So, the next question is from a different category, that is of 3 marks. Let us understand the question first. Explain the phenomena of a multiple allelism and a codominance taking ABO blood group as an example. What is the phenotype of following capital A, capital I? Chalo. Okay. Now, here we have to explain about the multiple allelism. Multiple allelism, we have a very good example, that is a ABO blood group. We know we have 3 blood groups. One is a A blood group, second 4 blood groups are there actually, AB and O blood group is there, right. They are controlled by multiple genes, different genes which are present, they are IA, they are IB, they are I. These 3 different genes are there which control the different characteristics of a blood group. We know there are alleles are present because these are the alleles, so multiple alleles are there, they definitely join, and we will talk about the genotype of a gene. In case of a blood group, the genotype which is present, that can either be, so A can be IA, or it can be IA small I. That means the combination effect of both of these genes, they are important. That I will tell you in AB blood group. So, they will give rise to a phenotype, they will also give rise to a phenotype. To talk about a B blood group, the genotype can be right? They will give rise to a B blood group, they will also give rise to a B blood group. To talk about a next blood group, which is a AB blood group. In AB blood group, the genotype can only be one IA, one IB. This is a very good example of a codominance, where both the gene, they are dominating. That's why there is a partial expression of a IA, partial expression of a IB. This type of procedure is called as a codominance. That means expression of both IA and IB in AB blood group is called as a codominance. To talk about the O blood group. O blood group individual, they always have a small I, small I. That's why they give rise to a O blood group. So, if a question comes regarding the multiple allelism, multiple alleles. In case of multiple alleles, you have to explain about these different blood groups, and also the second we have to explain regarding the codominance. That is, in case of in AB blood group, two alleles of gene express together, one IA and another IB, This is called as a multiple allelism, and which show the codominance. So, the codominance is there, and the genotype of AB, that is IA and IB. This is called as a codominance. Right. Now, come back to the question again. What is the phenotype of the following? We have to explain about the phenotype. In this case, a phenotype, such type of individual, they will be having which blood group? A blood group. Whereas, they will show O blood group. O blood group. Right? So, for the question number 7, this is the correct answer. This is how you have to attempt. Let's proceed towards our next question. Differentiate between a ZZ and XY type of sex determination mechanism. Two mechanisms are there, XX, XY, and second is called as a ZZ and ZW. Right. Such type of mechanism is present in case of humans, whereas in case of the birds and the fishes, we have is a ZZ, ZW, right. In this case, when we talk about if X is present in homozygous, that is considered as a female, right. When a X is present in heterozygous with Y, that will come out to be a XY type of individual, and that XY we know they are called as a male. They are called as a male. To talk about in case of the birds, the scenario is little opposite in this case. If they are present in a homozygous condition, that is a ZZ, that is considered as a male. So, ZZ, they are male. Homozygous condition. Right. Whereas, heterozygous is always a female. Right. In case of XX, in female, XX XX chromosome are there. Two type of gametes are produced that you have to write. One is a X and another is a, sorry, one type of gamete is produced. One is X, another is also X. So, one type of gamete. So, female produces only one type of gamete, that is only X. Whereas in this case, male, they produce two type of gamete. One is called as a X and second is called as a Y, because in case of male, the XY chromosome are there. So, if I say they produce two type of gamete, am I right? Right. Come to this side. Let's discuss about a female that is of a ZW type. So, female which is of ZW, they produces two type of gamete. One, it can be either Z or it can be a W, right. So, two type gamete. So, in this case the female produces two type of gamete, whereas in case of the human beings they produces only, the female human beings they produces one type of gamete. So, in case of male, as I have discussed, that is a homozygous. So, that is only a ZZ. So, that can produce the same type of gamete. So, only one type of gamete. Right. This is the exact distinction between a XX and XY, ZZ and ZW type of sex determination. Right. Now, let us move towards the next question, that is a question number 9. Differentiate between the following: polygene inheritance and a pleiotropy. Polygenic inheritance. Right. Pleiotropy is called as a multiple effect of a gene. That means one gene is showing multiple effect, right? Rather than showing only a one phenotype, they show a multiple phenotype. In this, we have an example of phenylketonuria. That is a multiple effect of a gene. Whereas a polygenic inheritance is that inheritance where one gene, multiple gene control one character. In this, we have an example of skin color. We have already studied skin color. This is the first part, polygenic inheritance and the pleiotropy. Let's discuss about the dominance, codominance and the incomplete dominance. 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 We know one gene has two alleles. One of the allele there is a recessive and other is a dominant when we talk about a heterozygous condition. Heterozygous condition, one dominant which is one that expresses itself, whereas one which does not express, that is called as a recessive. So, the dominance, that means out of two alleles of a gene, one expresses and other do not. One which express is called as a dominant gene, whereas one which doesn't express, that is called as a recessive gene. Right. Dominant gene is that gene which express in two conditions. One, when it is present in a homozygous condition, it expresses in two conditions. Homozygous condition, that means a capital Y is there, they will express. And even in the heterozygous condition, they express. For example, a capital Y, small y. In this case, if a capital Y, suppose this dominant gene is a capital Y and the recessive gene is a small y. In this case, the capital Y will express, small y will not be able to express, whereas this will express in a homozygous condition as well. Whereas the recessive genes, they are those genes which express only in homozygous condition. That is only in a small y. Right? This is called as a dominance. Next we have is a codominance. Codominance is a condition where the two genes are there and both the alleles they expresses. In this case, for example, we all have studied, that is for IA, IB. That is, they produce a phenotype of AB blood group. AB blood group. Right? This is called as a codominance. Next is called as a incomplete dominance. Next we have is a incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance we have studied in case of the 4 o'clock plant, Mirabilis dilava, or we have already learnt about the same in case of a snapdragon, where both of the genes, both of the alleles, they will not be able to express properly, so intermediate forms are present. Both allele express, but they express in incomplete way. They do not express properly. Whereas in case of the codominance, both of the alleles they express. In this case only they will not be able to express properly. So snapdragon is there. Hope you remember that cross when I have made a pink flower was formed when a cross is made between a red flower and the white flower plant. So this is how you have to explain. So these are the three, come to this side, three further dominance we have explained, the codominance and the incomplete. This is a 5-mark question. Along with a suitable example, you have to explain about each of these things. Let's move towards the last question. This is the last question of today's session. Why is hemophilia generally observed in human males? Explain the condition on which a human female cannot be hemophilic. Like we have studied in this session also, one of the, that was the third or fourth question where I was discussing about the hemophilia. Hemophilia in which the blood is not able to coagulate, no coagulation of the blood happens. Because of the blood factor, the hemophilia A factor, the B factor, that is not present. In that case, the coagulation happens, and it is because hemophilia is sex-linked, or if I say X-linked recessive disorder. X-linked recessive condition is there. So when we talk about a female, it is present in case of the female in two forms. One, either a female is a complete hemophilic or a female is just a carrier. Female which is a complete hemophilic, they will not be able to survive because blood will not be able to coagulate. So after some time of the birth, they used to die. Second, in case of the male, male are having a 2 chromosome, one is a X and second is a Y. So the male is always a XHY. So they will express this disease, they will express, but in this case they will not be able to express. In this case, sorry, because this is a carrier, they will express, they will express. They normally die with due time, they will not die, they will survive like this. So always such hemophilia condition is seen in a human males, right. Let's look at the second part of this question. A pregnant female, human female, was advised to undergo MTP. What is MTP? That is a medical termination of pregnancy, that is to abort a child. It was diagnosed with her doctor that the fetus she is carrying has developed from a zygote with an XX egg fertilized with a Y carrying sperm. Why was she advised to undergo the MTP? Now, very good question. So, this question says, whenever a fertilization happens between a 2 type of gamete, one is an egg, another is a sperm. So, normally what happens, the egg is also a haploid, the sperm is also a haploid, and whenever the fertilization happens, the 2N, the zygote is produced. That happens in case of the normal condition. But in this female, in this pregnant female, doctor advised to go for MTP just because the egg which is produced by this female, that is a 2N. That means they are having a 2X chromosome. Rather than having a only X chromosome, in this case only one X chromosome will be present, in this case only a Y chromosome will be present, right, one. Here they are having a 2X chromosome, whereas a sperm which is coming, that is carrying only a Y chromosome. Now, if the fertilization happens between these, what type of zygote will be formed? XXY, XXY. So, in this XXY, such condition is called as a one syndrome. This is called as a Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome. So, this Klinefelter syndrome, in this, what happens is that the male, a female which is present in, a male which is present in this case, they are sterile. So, male is sterile. That means they will not be able to produce further, and also they will be having a characteristic of a female. Having female character. Having female character, which is sometimes they do develop a breast also. So, that is called as a female character, a male with a female character. That is called as a gynecomastia. That is development of breast in case of the female. So, come back to this. A pregnant female was advised to undergo MTP. Why? Because the child might be suffering from a Klinefelter syndrome. That's why she was advised to undergo the MTP. This was the reason for that, right? So, students, we are done with the today's session. We have discussed around 10 questions, but you have to practice more and more questions from this chapter. I have tried to include more and more topics, but still so many are left. You have to revise those as well. So, we'll meet in the next session. We'll discuss about a new chapter. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you so much, students, for watching this.